Matthew Moore's Wood Studio. Today is Saturday, May 7th, which means it's time for another weekly shop update. Alright, so before we get to what's been going on in the shop this week, I've got a whole list of stuff here I want to cover. A lot of fun and really cool stuff. So number one, Matt Cremona and myself released a brand new episode of the Matt and Matthew Show. If you haven't seen it already, check out the episode up here where we spend, about 45 minutes or so with Mike Pekovich in his shop, talking shop. Let's see, on May 19th, I will be speaking at the San Fernando Valley Woodworkers Club. That's here in the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles at the Balboa Sports Complex in Encino, starting at 7 p.m. I will have some furniture there, and I'll be talking about green and green furniture, at least my take on it and what I've learned, and hopefully I can share lots of stuff with everybody there. I am signed up and paid for my booth at Woodworking in America. So if you're going to go to that show, I'll be there. And we'll have a lot of fun, and I'll be vlogging just like I did the last time, the whole time. But I'll be there for booth for the school, and hopefully we can all hang out. Let's see, what else? Okay, the coffee table is completely done and everything's online. All the episodes, the plans, the preview video, the whole 9 yards. I sent out an email, I think on the 1st, which was Sunday, to everybody who's on my newsletter list. If you're not on the newsletter list, go over to Wood Studio and scroll to the bottom of the page and sign up. If you have a class or a yearly subscription, you already get it. And you don't have to have either one of those to get it. Sign up, there's lots of cool stuff in there, not just news, especially over the rest of the year. I've got a whole bunch of special stuff planned just for the newsletter. I reached 10,000 followers on Instagram. So those of you in this audience who follow me on Instagram, thank you, I appreciate it. Those of you who don't and you want to, go ahead and jump over to @Wood Studio on Instagram and follow me there as well. Hitting 10,000 was a very humbling experience. That was a fun thing. And it was just so great that that many people want to keep up with what I'm doing. So I did a little bit of a giveaway, kind of broke the rules, did something completely different that I've never seen before done on Instagram. If you want to know what that is, go out, head over there and check it out. Unfortunately, that promotion is done. But when I hit a big number here on YouTube, I think I got to do something crazy like that too. Let's see, what else? Oh, Cocobolo. Let's check it out. So I ordered some wood from Belforest. I was just on there checking some stuff out. I've been trying to find some really amazing Cocobolo. And they are going to be at least 4 planes for this plane making class that I'm going to do. And these are really nice billets. They're anywhere ranging from 2.5 to by 2 1/8, I think, up to 2 3/4 of an inch in width. Height somewhere around 2.5 inches. So should definitely be able to get some planes out of this. A block plane, a smoother, maybe a jack, a polisher. I'm just not sure, but there's going to be at least. Well, I've got the list. I'm just not totally sure what these will be made. I'm also looking at some other materials, just as I showed you guys the other week, for some other planes as well. Those will be larger ones. Unless I could find some really nice, large, thick pieces of Cocobolo to make an amazing jointer out of. And I also got this, which is a piece of Olivewood. And when I saw this, well, basically, long story short, because I bought those 3 guys, and I was like I don't know how much it was. It was between $25 and $50 short of free shipping. And I figured, well, is there a piece of wood that I'd like that I could get that would get me in the free shipping? And I got this guy because I'm really digging the grain right here in this whole spot, and I think this is going to be the drawer fronts for the drawers in the tool cabinet that I'm designing for the project after the planes. I'm not sure if they're going to be shop-sawn veneers or they'll be milled out of this to 3/4 of an inch or whatever they'll be, but this right here I think is really awesome, and I want this to be the drawer fronts. So that's a piece of olive wood. Let's get on to what's been going on here in the shop, which is only about a day's worth of work. I've been really crazy this week, a whole bunch of shop stuff related to the shop but not in the shop. So this guy here is a jig that helped me accomplish this, which is these really big through mortises that are in the posts for the legs. These guys are 1 1/4 inch wide, 3 inches tall, and 2 5/8 of an inch deep. And they're pretty darn square. So let me walk you through the process of making these guys. So number one, first thing I had to do was create the jig. The jig is really important because it provides a template for the router to remove some material. So I cut a whole bunch of strips into pieces and glued them back up with a spacer in between that creates what's called a window. So this window here is the exact size of my mortise, and then this fence right here allows me to reference something that's square against the leg itself. But before I did that, over at the drill press with a Forstner bit that's diameter just a little bit less than the total width of this mortise, I hogged out material from both sides, drilling about halfway deep each time to get the bulk of the waste out. And then over at the bench with a chisel, I chiseled back to get rid of all those little sharp corners. And then it was time to get this guy on, clamped in. And with my little router, I use that to route away the waste that remained, except for, of course, the corners. So since you have this jig and you've made this and you've got these square corners here, you might as well take advantage of it. So with some chisels, which I sharpened this morning, because I knew I was going to need them, I did a really great sharpening session. It felt good just to have the sharpening pond on and just looking out the window with some great light and sharpen. And then I cleaned up the corners of these guys, and then I kept routing deeper and deeper until I couldn't get any deeper. And the depth I was looking for was enough that I'd be able to take my other one of my other bits for template routing that has a bearing on the top instead of the bottom, flip this guy over and reference the one section I just worked on to create the other section. And then once I was able to remove that material, all I had to do was square everything up on what will be the non-show face. So this is where the through tenon will come through. The second side is where I took I did all my first work here, so I got everything nice and crisp. And here on this side, since I'm referencing up on the top, if things here are a little bit different, that's okay. As long as they're just a little bit wider and taller, perhaps. So these guys are done. The next step is going to be what I'm going to start working on tomorrow, which is to actually get the what will be the stretcher, or the trestle that is, milled up and start working on that. So I need to mill it, cut it to size, length, the whole 9 yards, and start creating my tenons, which are going to go right through these big bad boys here. So my question of the week to you guys is this: how would you have approached making these large through mortises? Let me know. I'm really interested in hearing what you guys would have done instead of the way I approached it, or maybe you would have approached it the same way. So that's about it for this week. As always, please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. If you're watching this on Facebook, hit the like button, share your timeline, and head over to the Wood Studio page and like us there as well. And as always, have a great week in the shop.